Welcome back, minions! Power is here once again, taking over Lady Nyanko's channel! So, as you've probably guessed, I'm back talking about Chainsaw Man! Yay! In a slightly more accurate Power cosplay this time. I have to admit, like, Power is super comfy and easy, and, like, I can even use my own hair for it. Although I will be getting better horns that are more accurate, and I will probably get a proper wig for it at some point. But yeah, I am loving Chainsaw Man, as you probably guessed in my last video. And this time I am back to talk about the manga. Now, warning, this is probably going to be extremely spoiler heavy if you haven't read the manga. So you can dip out now if you wish. I will not like hold it against you in the slightest if you don't want to watch spoilers, but if you have read the manga and you do want to know spoilers because like you like me, you find spoilers make it easier for you to get into something, grand. On with the talking. So yeah, after I watched the first 3 episodes, I went and binged the manga. I read all 108 chapters in 2 days. Impressive record, I must say. Broke my personal best. Really channeled my inner power of, you know, I am amazing, I will do this. As of recording this, I think there's 109. So yeah, I have read the 109. So yeah, there's 109 chapters in total. Comes out every Tuesday on Manga Seisha. I will leave a link to them down below if you want to go and read it with them. They're actually Viz Media owned, I believe, so they're the guys who do the actual like books that come out. So you're getting the actual translation. So yeah, went and binged that, and dear God was I depressed. Like, it's so good, but like, damn does the author just not give a crap about the people's feelings. Like, it's like, oh yes, these characters that you love, get attached. Really put your heart into them and be like, my babies, and then it's like smush, 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 smush. So yeah. Chainsaw Man, in the nutshell, is heartbreak. But no, there's actually a bit more in the manga. So, the scene with Denji and Makima in the car is very different in the anime to the manga. So in the manga, they don't have that be my dog conversation in the car, and the I just want you to woof kind of thing. So in the comic, what happens is they've gone to the food stop for food. She's given him the jacket, so that's the same. And then a man bursts up to the food stall begging someone to help him because his daughter's been kidnapped by a demon. So Makima then is like to Denji, go and like basically earn your dinner. And he's like, what? It's like, I just want you to say yes or woof. You know, that's what I expect from you. That happens then. And then he goes into the forest, in the rest stop area to save the little girl, who's been kidnapped by a demon. Now, when he turns up, the little girl is playing with the demon, and he's a bit like, oh, what's going on here? This is like me and Pochita. To which he goes up to the little girl and is like, what's going on, kind of thing. And and the little girl goes, oh, don't take me away, you know, he saved me from my daddy beats me every day, kind of thing. So Denji's like, oh, it's a good devil, it's like Pochita. And it's like, how about we run away together? So that's mentioned, and then the little girl goes, yeah, let's run away together. And then it actually turns out that the demon is kind of slightly possessing the little girl and then starts attacking Denji. Denji is then like, oh, bad demon, kills it, saves the little girl, and brings her back to her dad at the rest stop, where he then gets his food, and then he passes out from like the loss of blood because he's turned into Chainsaw Man twice, quite close together, and hasn't replenished. So that's different, and I really like that little thing because it really shows how Denji's very sweet and naive. And they do show that in the anime as well, but I just felt like it was driven home a lot more in the manga from the beginning, that Denji sees the good in people. Yeah, so he sees the good in people a lot more. Like, they really show that in the manga from pretty much the beginning, that he's like a good-hearted person. He's very simple, he's quite, you know, naive, but he trusts people. So, like, he instantly starts trusting Makima. He instantly starts trusting, well, pretty much everyone he comes across he trusts. Well, bar Power. But, like, he's like, you're a fiend. How can you, be a hunter kind of thing? And then he sees her boobs. And, of course, in true Denji fashion, is like, yes. I trust you. Then, you know, he starts building a bond with, like, Aki, which is really great to see. We see a lot more of, like, Aki's backstory, so, like I said in my other video, I wanted to see more of that, and it was really interesting to see Aki. Like, there's a load more characters that are going to be coming in the anime that, like, damn, did I love them in the manga. Damn, did it break me. But yeah, so basically, it's just one tragedy after another for Denji. In Chainsaw Man, he's constantly, like, getting heartbroken, I think is the best way of putting it. So he finally gets a sense of safety, and he finally gets a sense of family, and he finally is comfortable and happy, and then it's like, yeah, I'm going to take that all away from you. And he's absolutely broken by it time and time again, to the point that he just gets, like, he's depressed. He's constantly in grief. He's in a really bad place. And he goes to Makima and he's like, I just want to be your dog. I can't take this anymore. And then Makima's like, okay, I'll let you be my dog, which is something so basically Makima, at some point along the chapter line, I'm not sure where it is, it's kind of all blurred into one long story for me, with the binge reading. Basically, the big bad is revealed to be the gun demon, who wiped out millions of people in like a fraction of a second in different places across the world. And their main goal in Chainsaw Man, for a good section of it, is to catch the gun devil. And basically Makima says to Denji, if you catch and kill the gun demon, I will grant you any wish. And they go along, and they do eventually find the gun demon, and oh, hello, little demon has entered the room. So yeah, they eventually do catch the gun demon, and they do manage to kill him, but in doing so they break Denji's spirit, because Aki becomes the gun devil, like the gun demon's host, and comes after Power and Denji, and Denji has to kill him because he's going to kill millions of people, or he's going to kill a lot of people. And yeah, it's just really heartbreaking. Yeah, basically Denji has to kill his best friend, who's become like a big brother to him, and it utterly breaks his spirit, because he kills Aki and to save all these people, or he lets everybody die and he lets Aki live. And it's really heartbreaking, because Aki is kind of like the tip of the iceberg that kind of pushes him into like a deep, dark depression. And then, like I said, he goes over to Makima because he's killed the gun devil, and he goes to her and he's like, I want my wish. And he sees how originally he's like basically going to ask her if he can sleep with her, or if he can kiss her, or something along those lines, I think is what he wants to do. And then, because he's so broken after killing Aki, he goes to Makima and is like, okay, I want my wish. And so she takes him home, shows him her dogs, and Denji really enjoys seeing how she treats her animals. So he goes around and is like, for my wish, I want to be your dog. And she's like, okay, but I demand utter obedience from my animals. You cannot say no to me, basically. And he's like, okay, yeah, I can do that as long as I don't have to think, because he doesn't want to think anymore. To which she's like, good boy, come with me, because the doorbell rings. And now something in his head, which is a reoccurring thing, is this door, and there's a voice telling him not to open the door. in his mind, because there's something there that he doesn't want anything to do with, basically. Makima's like, go open the door, and he's like, what? And she's like, we're gonna kill power. And he's like, why? And she's like, I don't want you to question me, you're my dog. To which she opens the door, and there's Power standing there with like a birthday cake, because it's Denji's birthday, or what he thinks is her birthday, and they were going to celebrate. And Makima kills her, like just dead straight, no more Power, like in front of him, and it kind of causes Denji to just break, and then he truly becomes Chainsaw Man, which is what Makima had wanted all along. And you do find out along the way as well more about Makima and her intentions and stuff. And that she's not even human, that she's the control devil. And she's in a contract with the Prime Minister of Japan. Now, it turns out Makima is a super fan of Chainsaw Man and the Chainsaw Demon. And is really upset when she finds out that the Chainsaw Demon has like merged with Denji. And her entire mission this entire time has been to find a way to break the contract between Pochita and Denji. Because in her mind, if she could break that contract, she could have the Chainsaw Demon to herself. Because in this world, nobody remembers war. Well, they do remember war, but they don't remember nuclear weapons or the Nazis and stuff like that. Because apparently, in this world, when the Chainsaw Demon eats you, you're erased from people's memories. Now, Makima can barely remember some things, but she can remember most of like the demons that were killed. So like nuclear weapons was killed. War was severely weakened so that like it didn't have the power it did after World War II. Like he must have eaten the Nazi demon then, because nobody remembers the Nazis from World War II. And it's quite interesting. So basically, Makima can control anything she deems as a lower life form than herself. So she wants to turn Denji she basically wants to erase Denji's existence and just have Chainsaw back. She wants the Chainsaw Devil to take over Denji through breaking his contract with Pochita and make him her underling. And it's quite interesting because there's a load of like nuances and like backstabbing that goes on, because a lot of like people have turned against Makima in the background and she hasn't realised it, because she's so arrogant and cocky in her own abilities that, you know, all she can care about now and all she can see is Chainsaw, and that actually ends up becoming her undoing, because Denji ends up killing her through the fact that he's absolutely in love with her. So in her contract with the Prime Minister, if she's hurt or anyone tries to kill her, the damage is spread amongst the Japanese people as like random accidents. So if she gets shot in the head or something, then a Japanese citizen will die and take the damage and she will revive. But they find a loophole in that, and it's that if you go to hurt her with malicious intent, it gets spread around. But so basically a bit like Toga not setting off Deku's danger sense. Sorry, should have said spoilers if you haven't read the Boku no Hero manga. That's kind of like what Denji does with Makima. And the way he manages to trick her is he realises Makima never saw him, but only ever saw Chainsaw. So he tricks Makima's nose by using the last of Power's abilities inside of his system to trick her and kill her, and then basically he eats her and makes her part of him through love, which I think is a very warped sense of love there. But so because he never does it with any malicious intent, he manages to kill Makima and get rid of her. And then it basically ends so the prologue, which is basically the first half of the thing, is it does end in like chapter 100 or something, chapter 105, close enough to around the 100 mark. It does end technically, and everyone thought that was it. It was done. So it ends with Denji having eaten Makima. The control demon has like revived, because what turns out is when demons die, they go back to hell, but then when they're killed in hell, they come back to earth, but they're a different demon to what they were before. So they find Makima, who's no longer Makima. She's like got a new name and a new identity, but she's still the control demon. And Denji ends up taking her in, and he's now raising her to basically try and stop her from becoming Makima again, or becoming the same kind of warped personality. And I thought that was a really cute thing, that where it ended off there. And then, like, you think that's it, you think that's the end of the manga, and you're like, yeah, he's heartbroken, but he's still got Pochita, like, in his chest, and things might get better, and you're like, yay, great. And then the next chapter comes around, and we start off with a new protagonist, and we don't actually see Denji for a while, so you're thinking, oh, okay, is this going to be one of those ones where it follows a new protagonist and there's like a new arc following along? But no. Basically the new girl is, I don't even know, like, I haven't read enough of the new arc and the new one to make any kind of like synopsis on it yet, so I think I'll leave that maybe for another video when there's more manga out for it. For the moment though, I will say that you should definitely read the first bit of, so like definitely read up till the bit where it feels like it's ended in the manga. I will probably put which chapter that is like up here, because I can't remember. Literally, like I said, I binged, I didn't notice like chapter numbers, it was just read. So yeah, I'll leave the chapter there up in the corner, where basically it feels like everything's rounded off and it's ended. It's really good, it's a hell of a ride, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see how well it turns into the anime, because I'm expecting great things now, because damn, Chainsaw Man was a wild ass ride. But no, definitely Power is still my best girl. Aki was definitely my best boy. Denji, poor bean, needs to just be hugged and loved for all of eternity, because damn does he go through it. Yeah, like this video could end up being like an hour long if I don't cut it short now, because I'm like, Jesus, I will just ramble. I'm sorry, I do ramble a lot. But no, Chainsaw Man, the manga, is, whew, it's something. It's heartbreaking, that's definitely one thing. It's heartbreaking, it makes you laugh, you'll cry, you'll probably curse the author for being so brutal with your emotions. What else really? Yeah, like, it's like if you like blood, guts, gore, and a story that's not actually that predictable, definitely go read the manga if you can't wait week to week for the new anime episode to get released. But yeah, other than that, comment down below your favourite bit of the manga. I have to admit, I think mine is just my favourite chapter, okay, is when Aki goes to visit his family grave, and Power and Denji basically tag along, and it's like a family outing, and Aki is finally happy because he has a sense of home again. He's got his family, he's got his annoying little brother and his very annoying little sister to look out for, and it sparks something in him that makes him want to like protect them more than anything. He's just like, no, I must keep them safe. So yeah, that for me was my favourite chapter so far, and I can't wait to see it animated, because damn, oh, did I get broken after that. But yeah, so those are just my opinions on the manga. Let me know your opinions down below in the comment section. Like I said, tell me your favourite scene in the manga. Tell me what you can't wait to see animated from the manga itself, you know. Give me a like if you like this content, and maybe subscribe if you feel like seeing more of me ramble. But anyway, kittens, I will end this video here and give you much love. Remember, eat something, drink something, and take your medication if you need to. Other than that, I will see you next time. Auf Wiedersehen!